So this is the commencement speech nobody asked for, and it came as a result of me attending the graduation for my bonus son. When I was sitting there listening to this, I realized that as the principal spoke, he was speaking to a group of the school that had always felt special, and it is the students that didn't always meet those arbitrary standards that I felt got left out of this speech. And so it made me angry enough to come home and do something that I absolutely hate, and that's write. I wrote this speech for my son because nobody else was addressing him, and this is the result. So often speakers will focus on the achievements of a class. They'll tout the many accomplishments, focusing on GPA, ACT scores, scholarships earned, sports played, records set, or even championships won. Those kids have felt special their entire life. This is not for those kids. This is for the kids that have felt like they have fallen through the cracks their entire academic career. This is not to diminish the accomplishments of those young adults who have done all those things, but to shine a light on those kids who, for whatever reason, didn't measure up to these arbitrary standards of excellence. This is for the young adults that may have felt like they've fallen through the cracks. Albert Einstein once said, "Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it's stupid." This is a powerful reminder that your unique talents and passions are what make you special. You're not defined by the arbitrary measures of success that traditional education imposes. Today, I look out and see many fish. For the last 12 years, you fish have been educated on the fine art of tree climbing. Many hours have been spent on the best techniques for ascension, the proper form, and even how to gain the muscle to get up the tree. Many of you fish have spent countless hours even writing papers on the fine art of tree climbing. However, despite all this amazing instruction, you fish have always fallen short of the cats, lemurs, and monkeys in your class. You may ask yourself why we spent so much time trying to teach these fish to climb trees rather than embracing what seemed like a natural talent to swim. While I don't have the answer, I do have a message of hope for you. Like you, I was once a fish. I wasn't interested in sports. I wasn't interested in classic literature written in a language I didn't fully understand. Insert Shakespeare here. And I certainly wasn't interested in writing papers about it. I grew up in a poor family where the only option to achieve my goals was to go to work. My only desire to continue my tree climbing education came from the myth that it was the only path to real success. So after high school, this fish went to college. I even managed to get a few scholarships along the way. It wasn't until the first day of classes, my fourth year of college, when my wife asked me if I was going to get up and go to school, that I realized I was done lying to myself about what I really wanted. In that moment, my answer was no. No, I'm not going to class. To which she replied, "Today?" To which my reply was, "Not going ever." I realized then that the skills I gained from my after-school work at 15 were where my real talent and passion lie. It wasn't that I didn't have the intellect or ability to succeed at tree climbing school, I just didn't have the interest. Consider the story of Steve Jobs, who dropped out of college because he felt it wasn't the right path for him. He followed his passion for technology and innovation, which led him to co-found Apple, a company that changed the world. Jobs once said, "Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work, and the only way to do great work is to love what you do." Now, if those people that do that great work could just make my phone ask me before it changes Bluetooth devices from my headphone to my car that's 10 feet away, we'd be on to something, but I digress. I'm certain there's many listening to this that may feel the same way. You're told that if you don't succeed in school, you have no future. I'm here to tell you that isn't the case. There is no correlation between higher education and success. See social media for all the evidence you need. Many of you will enter the skilled trades. While many will look down on this, I commend you for being ahead of the curve. Without these blue-collar heroes, there would be no buildings to meet in, there would be no sports fields, there'd be no irrigation systems to water the sports fields, no fences around the sports fields, no buses to get you to and from school, no mechanics to fix those buses or cars, no fiber optic cable running to the classrooms, no towers for cell phones, no roads to get to school, and no running water, no sanitation system. The good news is that instead of taking on debt, spending another 4 valuable years writing papers on the history and theory of underwater basket weaving, you have the opportunity to truly discover what your talents are, avoid debt, and get paid to learn if you leave the Tree Climbing Academy. The truth is, you'll be higher up the tree even as a fish without the time and debt of the academy that society has lied to you about being the only path to success. See, this isn't the end of the line for you little fishies, only the beginning. No more writing papers on subjects you don't care about for reasons you don't understand. No more solving equations you don't understand. No more getting in trouble for using a calculator, Google, or YouTube to assist you. No more being labeled as a cheater for using ChatGPT. You're now entering the real world. And the truth is that now when you use tools like ChatGPT, calculators, Google, or YouTube, it's called being resourceful, not cheating. However, I need to warn you, you're in charge of your education. You get to choose what's important to your future. You get to choose the manner and intensity with which you study the subjects that are important to you. This will determine your level of success in life. You don't think that because you don't have to take any more classes on tree climbing that you are off the hook, did you? J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, was once rejected by numerous publishers before her first book was accepted. She said, "It's impossible to live life without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default." Her perseverance and belief in her talent led her to become one of the most successful authors in history. This is something I know far too much about. By 16, I was self-employed, running a company, and by 36, I was bankrupt. Dave Ramsey is quoted as saying, "Success is the mountain of failure you're standing on, and I stand here as a testament to this. The real lesson is that when you fall, don't splat, bounce. You can be an egg or a bouncy ball." When I was in school, I failed one class. My sophomore year, we were required to take public speaking, which I hated. And because I hated public speaking, I did not perform well, most likely due to a lack of effort. In fact, I did so poorly, it seemed impossible for me to pass a class. For the final, we were required to memorize a children's book. After doing a bit of math, I realized that no matter how well I did on the final, there was no way for me to pass the class, so I made no attempt. When it came my turn, Miss Baldacci asked me if I was ready, and I politely explained that because I passed math class, I understood there was no way for me to pass, and that I was going to decline and sit this one out. As expected, I had the privilege of retaking speech class my junior year with a bunch of sophomores, and with a little more effort, I even passed. Fast forward 25 years, and I routinely accept public speaking opportunities. What's the difference? I get to choose the subject matter and speak on things I'm passionate about. No more random topics that don't have my interest. I'm in control of the subject matter and the intensity with which I focus on it. We no longer compete for grades or wins, just dollars. I was finally able to decide for myself what's important to me. So to all you fish out there, just keep swimming. Your future's bright and the ocean is vast. Find your passion. Embrace your talents. Make a splash in your own way. And remember, it's not about climbing trees. It's about making waves. Albert Schweitzer famously said, "Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success." If you love what you're doing, you will be successful. Go out there, love what you do, swim freely, fishies, and find your own path to greatness. That's it.